All right, we're live. We're back. A little slightly delayed today, but we're back in. If I happen to get interrupted, then I'll be back. I'll be back on. Had a little interruption here. Fire alarm's going off in the building, and just when I was about to turn on the lights, too, they finally silenced the alarms. But as soon as I turned on the lights to get going, I hear knocks on the doors saying, "Fire department, fire department." So, guy came in here with an axe. They were looking for smoke. Hello, everybody who's signing in. Glad you guys can make it. So far, we're good. And we'll try to get this going before any other interruptions. So today, let's think about this topic here. How to pivot is really the main topic here today. Pivoting your strategy when it comes to your business, and I'm going to open up for questions as well as we get moving along. So there's many things I'll touch upon first when discussing this type of topic, right? And I'll be talking a little bit in general and just kind of giving an overview, bouncing back and forth when it comes to something like this. You know, it comes down to like staying relevant, seeing what's trending, and what to do. You know, what should you be doing to modify your monthly strategy, right? Okay. So what we should be thinking about. Yes, thanks, Melina. I appreciate it. Safe. Marked safe from the fire. So what we should be discussing every single month, as a team, and what you should be doing monthly is your monthly goals. What are you doing to move the needle in your business every month, right? So if you use that as the baseline, use that as the kickoff for what new monthly objectives you have in play. Like, what are the goals here for this month? What are we trying to do? And then also, as you move along, because now we're in April, what did we do the past 3 months? What did we put into play, and has that affected our business? Has that affected the bottom line? Did we see any return and whatnot? Also, keep an eye out to what might be going on the digital front out there. Any new changes, any new apps? Have you learned anything new with AI? Like those things, right? What can you be doing differently, or what can you be doing to help support moving that needle? Right? So I always say this, and it was mentioned this morning during my networking call, my networking meeting, is lead gen and moving the needle. And really, what are you doing every month when it comes to your digital presence? So besides so many other things that you can be doing that is outside of my realm, I'm going to speak strictly on Google and social and all digital type of campaigns that you could be putting into play. And what are you changing? We had a new client that is coming on board that discussed his troubles with lead gen. And he jumped into a couple of different programs initially, and he wasn't really seeing much success. And he was active and smart enough to detect, hey, am I getting a return here? And he knew it was time to pivot. And that's one thing to kind of always keep in mind when you are running any sort of digital campaigns. you should be monitoring what's going on a monthly basis, and you should be open-minded and have patience, because a lot of these campaigns do take time to develop, but know when it's time to pivot. Know when it's time to say, you know what, we've tried this, we gave it sufficient time, let's go ahead and now start to focus in a different area. And this particular person recognized that in his business, and he realized, okay, I'm spending X amount of money, I'm not getting that return. I'm seeing X amount of possible leads coming in, but the quality is low. And you know, it's not doing what I thought it would do. So let's look into other types of campaigns. Let's look into other possibilities. So a lot of times you have to evaluate, what have you done in your business? And it might have been digital campaigns in the past, it might have been print. You know, a lot of people took advantage of print campaigns. They still do. They're still relevant in certain capacities, in my opinion. Or else, you know, these companies wouldn't be in business still. So I believe they work better for certain industries. I just feel the reach is far greater when it comes to digital campaigns. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about companies. What's up, James? Let's talk about companies that have been running solid print campaigns. I feel if you're in a specific industry and you are in a specific publication that is read by your target audience, there is a lot of positivity there. There is better odds and chances to gain some business, continue your brand awareness. There's something to be said there. My argument on the other side, and this can definitely go against the grain and definitely go against, you know, that industry. When you're advertising in certain publications, you're grouped with many others. Okay, many others, especially if it's dedicated for one particular type of industry, you're grouped with others. And I mean, I have a magazine right here that is local, and you know, you're going to get different advertisements in there, and people are kind of just browsing through like I usually do, and then you come up to another page, and you see a couple of ads there. That's funny because that's actually one of our clients. Great food down there, and have one of the best chicken scarps you'll find in Westchester. But here's the thing, you know, you have a subscriber base that's this big. Okay, you're spending thousands of dollars to run ad campaigns in there. It starts to dwindle down. Now you got the people that actually read the magazine. Then you get the people that actually then pay attention to really what those ads are. The numbers are shrinking, okay? People are most likely going to see the stories, or if there's features, whatever it might be. The numbers are actually shrinking. Then you actually get down to the people who do see your ad, but they have no interest, right? You're not their target audience. And they just don't have the need, right? So now what, right? What if you take that money and you throw that into a targeted digital campaign for your active searchers, active buyers? Different, right? More success, greater reach, okay? So those are the things that, you know, you have to think about when you try campaigns like this. You measure the results, and it could be print. It could be an email blast campaign that you're doing. It could be somewhat of a social campaign. You want to take a look at the results. It's important to take a look at what have we done and what did we receive from that, and what else can we try now? Can we try something else to achieve different results and find more success? So I use the print as an example because it's very common. It's not cheap. Depending on some of these magazines, it's not cheap. And then look to see what you could either pivot to achieve better results. Of course, I'm always going to go back to a digital type of campaign, regardless of what it is, because of the sheer reach that's involved. Some of these magazines, yeah, I mean, they could have thousands of subscribers and such. But if you take that same money and you throw it into a digital campaign, now you're in front of a target audience that need you. That's the difference. Not everybody coming across your ad in a magazine needs you. They see the nice ad and they may say, oh, Carlo's Restaurant, maybe we'll try them. But, it may not be your target audience. So you want to evaluate. There might be people that find great success with print and they're going to continue that. But the point is to make you aware of the importance of evaluating what you might be doing with your marketing campaigns. That was really the topic for today, is to understand what you are doing to try to move the needle in your business. And are you finding success with that? And if you're not, don't be afraid to shut something down and pivot. Don't be afraid to do that. Give it a fair shot, though. I have some people that, expect to see miracles in 30 days. It just doesn't work that way. Even in Google, have you ever heard, when people, especially when it comes to radio, right? When it comes to those commercials, it's like people have to hear that jingle. They have to hear the name over and over so that it resonates. And all of a sudden, then it becomes very familiar. Now the trust is built. That's how it works across the board. It even works that way in Google. People have to come across that brand. So don't be afraid to pivot. Let's see. We have. Let's go for a question right here. We have a question. What do you think about older patients and actual mail-ins over the internet and social media stuff? Yeah, so could be a little bit of a challenge, depending on the age demographic, whether or not they're utilizing social, for example. Are they on those apps? Are they on just computers in general, right? And you'll be surprised that there are, especially when it comes to, let's say, that 50 to 65 range, heavy usage when it comes to certain social apps, especially Facebook, for example. So they are there. Google, I mean, my parents are on it. I mean, they're my dad's showing me TikToks. I mean, I'm like, what are you doing on TikTok? But they're on there. But direct mail works very well too with those audiences. That is something that is very common as well. You wanna possibly look into that too, and you can actually get great rates and such when you blanket, when you use zip codes or zones. It's actually zones when it comes to direct mail. Again, it's based on industry. So you have to take a look at what really, what's the objective, what industry you're in, and basically how, what are the best routes. There's so many different ways how you could attract that new business. There's people that actually really invest a lot in outdoor media, of course, more so B2C. All right, you're looking for those consumers rather than working directly with other businesses. That's very big, bus and rail. So outdoor media has its place as well. Questions here about measuring success and should you be discouraged if you don't see the results. There's no guarantees when it comes to any of these digital campaigns. You have to be willing to invest in yourself and invest in the business to move the needle. Because if you don't, you have no shot at any type of opportunities. That's the thing. They do take time, right? They take time. They have to develop. You have to build up the likability, the trust. You have to build up the credibility of your company. You have to continue to be putting out good content out there to build that trust. So they do take time. I would definitely, we say this to clients, and I would say it again now. not to be discouraged when campaigns don't work. However, you want to go into campaigns with the right team. You want to go into campaigns with the right game plan, with the right strategy, okay? You want to be educated when going into those game plans. The team that you might be working with, they should be prepared on informing you, educating you, and giving you reasons why they want to go that route, right? We just did some homework this morning and yesterday for a client who's out in Arizona on a Google campaign, but we do our homework because it's important to understand the marketplace there and what is happening right now with the data that we're getting before we make any decisions, right? So it's important when you're working with a team that they're setting the stage for success and they're making, they're guiding you and they're giving you reasons why they should be, you should be going that route, right? That's important. It also gives you more confidence in the team knowing that they're thinking outside the box and that they're doing that research and homework. That's another thing too. If I'm making a recommendation on a campaign, I'm not saying, hey, let's spend a couple $1,000s in Facebook ads. Yeah, let's go do that. That's good. And meanwhile, there's no game plan, right? So you have to understand why a company's recommending you to do something. For you to do something. Let's talk about A and B testing. That's another thing, right? When there's ad campaigns out there for your business, not everyone is going to click. Not everything is going to resonate. Whatever messaging there is, it's never always going to resonate. So you have to be willing to run A/B testing side by side, like parallel campaigns perhaps, with different messaging. You never know what's going to resonate with that end user. You never really know what's going to hit home and is going to catch their attention unless you put it out there. That's the thing. You have to just put it out there. That's the only way. We get a lot of questions. People drag their feet a lot and they want to know numbers or KPIs at times and such. And we try to give them as much information as we can, but I always come back to, hey, we got to kick this off. We got to kick it off. You've never done this before. We got to kick it off. We got to roll the dice and we got to do what we think is best to drive traffic. Let us do our job. Let us kick it off. Because right now it's just we're talking in circles and we're just doing make-believe scenarios. Let's get it going. That's really what it comes down. Don't be afraid to get things going. Here's a question. Are there ad campaigns that can target competitors? The million-dollar question there. One of our favorite campaigns here. We do very well with them. But yes, there are. And, again, another strategy, a testament here of thinking outside the box. I love when we talk about those campaigns to new prospects or clients, and it's almost like I see it. I hear it. If they're on a call, I see it. If it's on a Zoom meeting, it's like I just blew the dog whistle and the German Shepherd just went, that's it. Like what just happened? What are you talking about? Oh my God. I love that reaction. And it blows their minds at times, right? Now I got this vision of the German Shepherd turning its head. It's great. You can target competitors in your industry and essentially poach their traffic. It's the best way of putting it. Position yourself above the competitors and put compelling brand messaging as to why they should click on you. What makes you different? Now, the brand messaging, the visuals, that's going to help you stand out. It's going to sway that person, say, who is that? And then once they get to your online presence, well, hey, the online representative, it's got to do its job. So you need a polished online presence, kick-ass website. That's what it comes down to. Just to get that call, to get that opportunity, right? They don't know you from Adam, so your website's got to sell it at that point. So great question. Targeted competitors, and that's something that we do all the time. In many different industries, it works B2B, it works B2C. There's all different strategies there. So this is a really important topic. Keep in mind, it's something that every business owner should really have in place as they go through the year, right? We're in Q2 now. It's crazy how fast we already flew through Q1, kicking off April. And like I said this morning in my meeting, what have you done in the past 3 months? Really, think about what have you done. Have you done anything? What have you tried? Did you do anything different that's going to move the needle? Did you? If you didn't, it's okay. No one's coming to slap you on your wrist, but you lost opportunities in the first 3 months of the new year. So slap yourself then for that, because if you don't change anything in the business, how can you expect a different outcome? Really, that's what it comes down to. So just to recap, monitor what you're doing. Give it time. Have patience. Look for numbers. Look for reports. Compare and pivot. If something is not working, pivot. Look for other types of campaigns that you could be getting involved in to move the needle in your company. And if you need assistance with that, of course, the virtual door is always open here on Instagram to come right in and send me a message and say, hey, Mario, what are you talking about? What can I pivot to? Well, hey, let's talk about what you have been doing and what haven't you tried. And if you're working with someone who knows about marketing, they're going to be able to have a slew of different ideas for you and be able to make some great recommendations and suggestions. Okay? But if you need some assistance because maybe you've kind of been doing it yourself, then go ahead and reach out. And I'll be happy to have a conversation with you. So that wraps up this week on pivoting, on evaluating strategies in your business month to month and staying on top of what's happening. Okay? So we'll be back next week, regular time. Hopefully there's no fire alarms going off. And thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Have a great week.